Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be going over the NBA slate on DraftKings for Monday, December the 3rd. We have a 7-game Monday slate. I'm going to go through each position and talk about some of my favorite plays on this slate. Studs, mid-tier plays, value plays I like. I'll give my core of 5 plays, 5 guys I expect to have in a lot of my lineups by the time lock comes around. Before we do get started though, guys, I would appreciate it if you would drop a like on the video. It does help me out a lot, and if you are new to the channel, then make sure you click that subscribe button down below. I would appreciate it. That way you won't miss out on any of my new videos. So yeah, let's go ahead and look at point guard for this 7-game slate. So our top 2 stud options at this position over 10K are Russell Westbrook and James Harden. And right now, as I'm recording this Sunday night, I don't expect to have much exposure to either one of these guys, just because I would rather play Anthony Davis. We'll talk more about Anthony Davis when we get to power forward. I'm sure I'll have a little bit of Westbrook and a little bit of Harden because I play a lot of lineups, but I expect Anthony Davis to be my highest owned stud. So I'm probably going to try and go a little bit cheaper at this position. We definitely have potential value. If Kyle Lowry's out for today, he's questionable. That's a key injury to watch. If he is out, then that could definitely open up value with Fred VanVleet. So probably not going to be paying up for Westbrook or Harden a ton. I think my favorite guy to pay up for would probably be Curry at 9,500. Love the spot against the Hawks. Fast-paced game. The Hawks obviously are not a good defensive team. Now that the Warriors have Curry, they're going to be playing a lot faster. And with Draymond off the court, Curry does have a very high usage rate. He played 36 minutes in his first game back from injury, so I'm not worried about a minutes restriction at all. If this is a competitive game, I expect Curry to probably play about the same amount of minutes. So I do like him at 9,500. Would probably be my favorite guy to pay up for. But I think we can go to the mid-range and look for value at point guard. So in the mid-range, I do like Trae Young at 6K in that game. I think that game does have a lot of potential maybe to stack if you think it stays close. I think the Warriors without Draymond are a team that you can definitely, that the Hawks could at least hang with, I feel like. Hawks are playing at home as well, which should help the game, keep the game a little bit close. And Jeremy Lin, something to watch. He's been out these last few games. If Jeremy Lin remains out, Trae Young's minutes should be solidified. You should feel a lot safer with Trae Young's minutes. So at 6K, I do like Trae Young, especially just like as a point per dollar play that definitely has a lot of upside. He's my favorite play in the mid-range. And then value-wise, obviously I mentioned Fred VanVleet. If Kyle Lowry's out, Fred VanVleet, probably one of the top values on the slate at 4,900. But Emmanuel Mudiay is another value play I like. He's only 5K. His price tag has started to creep up a bit for good reason. He's had some good games his last few games, especially that last game against Milwaukee. Double overtime game. Mudiay played 36 minutes, 44 DraftKings points. Trey Burke has already been ruled out for Monday, so I expect Emmanuel Mudiay to be solidified into probably 25 minimum. I expect 25 or at least 25 minutes out of Mudiay here minimum. I think he can reach 30, 32, 33, depending on how well he's playing. Ntilikina is going to get some run off the bench, but I expect Mudiay to soak up a lot of the point guard minutes. And if this game stays close, which I think it definitely can with how bad the Wizards have been lately, I do like this game as well as another game to target. I think there's some good plays on the Knicks side, Mudiay being one of them. The Wizards are going to be shorthanded again today. Otto Porter's been ruled out, so definitely some good plays on the Wizards as well. I like this game as a stack, and I do like Emmanuel Mudiay at 5K. I'm expecting a big game from him. I think his minutes are very safe now that Trey Burke is out, and I feel a lot safer about Mudiay today. I don't love the price getting up to there to 5K, but Mudiay has shown upside to where he could still return a lot of value on this price. So him and potentially Fred VanVleet are probably my 2 favorite value plays at point guard. Lou Williams, really don't know why he's 4,900. I guess he really hasn't been playing that well lately. I haven't been playing Lou Williams, and his minutes have been down. Lou Will for 4,900 seems like a great value play, especially against the Pelicans, but his minutes have really started to trend down lately. Not really sure why. Just 19, 22, and 17 minutes these last 3 games. I guess in tournaments, if Lou Will would be a low owned today, I'd probably have a little bit of exposure to him at that price tag, and especially in that game. But really don't feel safe about Lou Will, especially with those minutes, how they've been lately. And another value play I want to mention potentially is Tomas Satoransky. He's only 3,700. He did start last game for the Wizards. I expect him to most likely start again. He played 26 minutes in that game against Brooklyn, put up 12 DraftKings points. Don't expect a big game from Satoransky, but at 3,700, you really don't need a big game from him. If he gets you 25 DraftKings points, that's definitely good value at this price tag. So Satoransky will most likely start again. I do see him as a value play that we could potentially go to if we're looking for value. But let's go ahead and move on to shooting guard now. So this is probably the same as point guard. Not really trying to pay up here unless maybe I play like Curry or Drew Holiday. I didn't mention Drew Holiday much at point guard, but definitely like Drew Holiday at 8,300 against the Clippers. Not going to be a core play for me, but I'll for sure have some exposure to Drew Holiday. But let's try and go a little bit cheaper at shooting guard. Probably another position we can find some value. So I want to touch on a cheap value play I like here. Alec Burks has been seeing some decent minutes off the bench for the Cavs lately. He's only 3,800, really good value play in my opinion. He's played 2 games with the Cavs. Off the bench, he's got 26 minutes in his debut, and then he got 24 minutes last game against the Raptors. I'd expect Burks to play probably 25, 26 minutes off the bench against the Nets. Definitely like the spot. Love the price tag at just 3,800. Really don't need much from him to return good value on this price. To be a good tournament play, we probably want 30 plus from Alec Burks, but even if he gets like 24, 25 DraftKings points, 3,800 definitely not killing you. So I do like Alec Burks a lot. If you're trying to go cheap at shooting guard, I feel like he makes a lot of sense. Probably want to watch that David Nwaba injury. If Nwaba comes back on Monday, that's going to cut into Burks' minutes a bit, but if Nwaba remains out, I do feel safe about Burks playing probably 25 to 26 minutes again, and he does make sense as a value play. But yeah, let's move on to small forward now. Really not a ton to talk about at shooting guard. A lot of guys I've already talked about, or I talked about at point guard or shooting guard eligible. So at this position, we have Kevin Durant up top at 10,900. KD for me, probably not going to be a guy that I play a ton today. Like I said, just like Anthony Davis, with Curry coming back, definitely don't want to pay this much for KD. Even though KD has a lot of upside in this matchup, probably going to be avoiding him. Don't see myself paying up for KD a ton. If Kyle Lowry is out again, then Kawhi Leonard's definitely the guy I want to pay up for. Even though he's 9,700, and that feels like a lot to pay for Kawhi Leonard. Without Kyle Lowry, Kawhi Leonard just pretty much has to do everything for the Raptors. Last game without Kyle Lowry, Kawhi played 37 minutes against the Cavs, put up 55 DraftKings points, had 34, 9, and 2, with 2 blocks and a steal. I'd expect probably another 50 DraftKings point game out of Kawhi. So if Kyle Lowry is out today, wait on that. We're going to have to wait on that news Monday. I'm recording this Sunday night. If Kyle Lowry's out, definitely like paying up for Kawhi at 9,700. Try and find a way to fit him in. But let's go look a little bit cheaper at small forward. So a key injury at this position is Otto Porter. He has been ruled out for Monday against the Knicks. So that could open up value. It's probably not going to be very appealing value, but Kelly Oubre should see a few more minutes. He's only 4,300. Could be a value play you look to with Otto Porter out. Same could be said for Jeff Green. Jeff Green did start on Friday, I believe it was. Otto Porter was out Friday. Jeff Green started. He didn't play a ton of minutes. I think that was the game against Philly. He only played 22 minutes, just 9 DraftKings points. I'd imagine Jeff Green's going to see more minutes in this game because that game did blow out. The starters didn't really play much in that game. I'd expect if this game stays close against the Knicks, we're going to get probably 26, 27 minutes out of Jeff Green. At 3,800, does make sense as a value play, especially if he remains in the starting lineup. He would definitely be my favorite value play at this position if you do want to go cheap at small forward. I think he stands out a lot. But let's move on to power forward now. So I've mentioned AD a lot during the video. Just love this spot for him against the Clippers. Really no reason AD should not be able to dominate in this matchup. The Clippers have just been terrible at defending bigs this year. I don't expect Gortat to be able to slow down AD. Definitely don't expect Montrezl Harrell to be able to slow him down. When these teams did play early this year, AD pretty much had his way. 67 DraftKings points in 40 minutes, had 34 points, 13 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 blocks, and a steal. I'd probably expect another similar game to that from AD here. I think he can easily get 60 to 65 DraftKings points. And this feels like one of those spots where we could get a 70 or 80 burger from Anthony Davis. So love paying up for him. Definitely my favorite stud on the slate. Going to try and fit him in as many lineups as possible. And he is for sure going to be a core play for me today. But let's look at other power forwards now. If you don't want to pay up for AD, which I think is pretty stupid, but if you don't want to pay up for AD today, if we want to look a little bit cheaper, there isn't a ton that stands out to me. I think my favorite play here would definitely be Pascal Siakam. If you want to play him at power forward, there is a guy we'll talk about in a second I love, but Pascal Siakam, especially if Kyle Lowry is out, I do like Siakam at 6K. But love Markieff Morris. Markieff Morris is only 5,900. I expect him to continue to see a lot of good run. So I have a lot of interest in Markieff Morris today. I wouldn't play him at center unless your lineup kind of forces you to. So let's move Markieff to the forward position, just for visual purposes. Like playing Markieff at forward, definitely wouldn't play him at center. Markieff at 5,900, just have a lot of interest in. The guy's playing a lot of minutes off the bench. Dwight Howard's going to be out for a while. Thomas Bryant's going to continue to start, going to continue to play about 15 minutes. And the rest of those center minutes are going to go to Markieff and going to go to Jeff Green. Markieff just been so good off the bench, been scoring, been grabbing rebounds. Got at least 36 DraftKings points in 3 of his last 4 games. And the only reason he did so poorly in that Philly game was because pretty much the whole Wizards offense did poorly. They lost that game by 25, 30 points. So I'd expect a bounce back game from Markieff. Even though he kind of had one against Brooklyn, I expect another similar game to that one. 5,900 still feels a little bit too cheap for Markieff Morris. I'd probably project him for about 30, 31 minutes. With Otto Porter out, should free up a few more minutes. So maybe even he gets to 32 or 33 minutes. Just a great spot for Markieff. 5,900. Have a ton of interest in him. But now let's look for other power forwards. So in that similar price range, you could go to RHJ. His minutes have been trending up as of late. His last game, RHJ played 28 minutes. The game before that against Memphis, he played 38 minutes. I think that game went to overtime, I believe, double overtime actually. So we've gotten consistent minutes out of RHJ. The fantasy production has not been consistent. I would much rather play Markieff Morris, but RHJ with his minutes trending up is for sure an option if you want to go there at 5,600. But I think that's it for power forward value. You have Jeff Green here, who you could play, who I definitely like with Otto Porter out. But let's go ahead and move on to center now. So up top here, you got Drummond against OKC. You got Cat against the Rockets. Cat, historically, I know has done really well against the Rockets. I don't mind paying up for him at 9K. It's probably going to be hard for me to play a ton of Karl Anthony Towns today just because I'd rather pay up for AD. I guess if I was to pay up at center and not play AD here, then Karl Anthony Towns would probably be my favorite play, but these don't feel like core plays for me. The guy that I really like at center is in the mid-range. I really like Enes Kanter today. He's 6,600 in a great spot against the Wizards. Without Dwight Howard, you've probably heard this a lot from other people, but without Dwight Howard, the Wizards just a terrible rebounding team. This is a great spot for Kanter. Should totally be able to dominate on the boards. We know Kanter is one of the best rebounders in the league. Had a game against Memphis where he got 26 rebounds. I'd expect probably a double-double from Kanter here. If not, could get a 20-20 type game. I feel like Kanter just has massive upside in this matchup against the Wizards. I feel safe about his minutes. I feel like he's going to play at least 26, 27 minutes, if not 30 or more. And in this spot, just has a lot of upside to return a lot of value on this price. With him kind of performing poorly these last 2 games, I don't expect him to be insanely popular today. So love some Enes Kanter at 6,600. Probably one of my favorite center plays if you're not paying up for Anthony Davis here. But yeah, that's probably it in the mid-range. You have Tristan Thompson, you have Julius Randle, who are both in great matchups, but I think I'd rather just play Enes Kanter over those 2 guys. Don't see myself really going to them. Kind of the same with Steven Adams. Randle, Thompson, Adams, I like those guys, but just rather play Enes Kanter. But now let's look for some value at center. Not a ton that I see that I really like. I've been playing Larry Nance a lot lately, but he's kind of been bumped out of the starting lineup, and his minutes have been trending down. I think they're going to continue to trend down. So going to be avoiding Larry Nance. Really don't see any value at center that I love. So I think that's it for this position. I think that's it for the video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. Hopefully this video did help you. If you enjoyed, make sure you drop a like. I would appreciate it. If you are new to the channel, then make sure you subscribe before you get out of here. If you do have any questions, you can always hit me up on Twitter at the DFS_GOAT, or feel free to leave any comments you have down below in the comment section, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. But yeah, guys, good luck on this Monday slate. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.